If you're black, do this. This is a good time. Just to any white person, greet them by being like, Happy Black History Month. Really just, it'll rattle them. They don't even know what to say. You know what I mean? That's kind of, listen, white discomfort is my heroin. You understand? Like, honey, I don't do no drugs. I'm Muslim. I don't wine and swine. You understand? I keep it halal, okay? But this is how I get that high. You know, I love that.
What does that mean to you, Black History Month?
It means that that's racism, because they don't celebrate White History Month. We don't have it. I'm part Italian. I don't have Italian History Month. So what I think it's doing is perpetuating what this divide is in our nation, quite honestly, because I don't feel like that should be highlighted. I don't think that they should be pushing their agenda on myself because I'm a straight male, I have a wife, and I have children. I don't think that I should have to be bombarded and brainwashed through media, through those months or Pride, Black History. I don't think that's something that should be, dictated to me.
Is it a learning opportunity?
Not at all, because when I was in school, we learned, certain black leaders, things like that. I don't need to hear it every single year for a whole month.
Why are white people so mad that Black History Month exists? That's like getting mad at people for celebrating their birthday. Like, everybody has birthdays. You're not special. Like, do y'all even hear yourselves when you talk? Like, what the
Yo, it's Black History Month. I need one of you young ladies to open the door for me.
Oh, wait, I'm trying to see something.
Everybody's gonna see this. If you don't do it, they're gonna get on you. So you better come and open the door. Trust me. Good girls. We love that. And then you gotta tell me Happy Black History.
Happy Black History Month.
You're welcome.
Yo, one of the reasons why white people get so mad around Black History Month and always saying shit like, well, we don't get a month to celebrate white history. We don't get a month. You get a month every fucking day. You get a month, you get a day, you get a year, you get every fucking day. That's yours. You get every day. White history is every single day. You guys push it in our face every single day. We just trying to celebrate all the greatness, all the accomplishment, the shit that we've been through as a people. That's it. We're not celebrating slavery. And that's what scares you, because you think we're celebrating slavery. No, we're not. That's your history. And if you want to celebrate that, to show all the people that what you did to us, you can have March. It's open. You can have March and celebrate slavery. But we're not celebrating that. And I think that's the reminder. Every time you guys hear Black history, the first thing comes to your mind is, oh, slavery. Oh, slavery. No, we're not. We're not celebrating slavery. That's not what we're celebrating. That's your history. Celebrate that.
Tell me something that white people say to let you know that they're low-key racist.
Funny you should ask. I have a list. All lives matter. Race baiting. Politically correct. Race card. Reverse racism. Black on black crime. I'm not a racist, but identity politics. Why isn't there a White History Month?
I feel like deep down, white people know that not only are they not the superior race, they are the inferior race. And this is why they get upset by things like Black History Month and Asian American History Month and Hispanic Heritage Month. Because every other group has a month highlighting their contributions to history, and they don't have any fucking contributions. Their contributions to history are oppressing everybody else. It's not like they're great inventors either. Like, I just feel like every other group has their contributions, and the only thing white people have contributed is like violence, spreading disease, patriarchy, more violence.
Bath and Body Works decided to come up with an ethnic line for Black History Month, which is something we did not ask for. Peep the watermelon scented candle, right? Out of every single fruit that there is, or every single scent that there is, they decided to use watermelon for Black History Month. And if you know the history behind watermelon and Black people, you would know why that's a big ass no-no. And there are a lot of big white corporations that have done this, which means they're literally using us as a profit. And they're doing nothing to really be there for the Black community. Earlier today, I saw a live of this white girl arguing with people in her comments on why it should be okay for her to wear box braids. No. White people love to insert themselves in situations where they're not needed. They love to put themselves into spaces where they don't belong. And they love to honestly outspeak Black people all the time. Now, for the ones like you that actually want to learn, we appreciate you, but there are most that just don't give a fuck.
So family, every year when February arrives in the United States, Black History Month becomes part of the national conversation. Schools organize lessons about historical figures, media outlets highlight stories about civil rights leaders and even cultural icons, and communities reflect on contributions that reshaped the country. Now, for many people, it's a moment to recognize history that was often ignored or even minimized for generations. But alongside the celebration, family, another reaction always emerges, a wave of anger or irritation from some people who question why Black History Month exists at all. And so the reaction often sounds familiar. Some ask why there isn't a White History Month, while others claim that focusing on Black history is divisive or even unnecessary. And on the surface, family, those questions might seem like simple disagreements about holidays or even historical recognition. But when you look deeper, family, they reveal something much deeper, bigger about how societies remember their past and even who gets centered in that story. And so to understand the tension, family, you first have to understand why Black History Month was created in the first place. And for a long time, American history books largely ignored the contributions and experiences of Black Americans except in every limited context. Now, enslavement might be mentioned, perhaps the Civil War, and even then the narrative would move on quickly. And so the achievements of Black scientists, inventors, activists, educators, artists, and even leaders were rarely included. Historian Carter G. Woodson created what was originally called Negro History Week in the early 20th century because he believed that a nation that ignored parts of its history cannot fully understand itself. And so the idea was not to separate history but to correct a historical imbalance. And over time, family, that week expanded into Black History Month, becoming a national recognition that even encourages schools, institutions, and even communities to examine stories that were historically overlooked. It's not about exclusion, it's about completion. It's about acknowledging that the story of the United States includes struggles, includes contributions, creativity, and even resilience from many different communities. However, for some people, family, the very existence of a designated month for Black history triggers discomfort. And so that discomfort often stems from a belief that recognizing historical injustice somehow assigns blame to people living today or even challenges a version of national identity that grew up with. And so another layer to this reaction, family, is the way conversations about race have evolved in recent years. Discussions about systemic inequality, policing, representation, and even historical narratives have become more visible in media and politics. And when people feel that their understanding of history or society is being questioned, they sometimes respond defensively. And so the anger we see online isn't always about the holiday itself. It's often about deeper anxieties surrounding cultural change, shifting demographics, and even evolving discussions about fairness and representation. And what's interesting is that Black History Month doesn't erase anyone else's history. And so American history already includes extensive coverage of European settlers, presidents, wars, and even political movements that were primarily led by white figures. And so those stories are taught year-round. Black History Month simply highlights narratives that historically didn't receive the same attention. And yet, the idea of sharing the spotlight can feel threatening to people who are used to seeing their experiences as the default center of the national story. And at the same time, it's important to recognize that the reactions are not uniform, and many white Americans support and even celebrate Black History Month because they understand its purpose and even its value. And so they see it as an opportunity to learn more about the country's full history and to appreciate contributions that shaped culture, science, politics, and even the art. And the loudest voices online often create the impression of widespread anger. But in reality, perspectives are diverse. And what this debate ultimately reveals is that history is never just about the past. It's about identity. It's about belonging. It's about stories societies choose to elevate. And when new voices and perspectives are added to the narrative, it can feel uncomfortable to people who are used to the simpler version of history. But expanding the story doesn't erase the old chapters. It adds context and even depth. And so Black History Month continues to exist because the work of understanding history is never finished. Each generation revisits the past and new questions
questions are broad and even broader perspectives arise. And instead of seeing the month as a source of division family, it can be viewed as an invitation to learn, to reflect, and to recognize that the story of a nation is always richer when more voices are included in it.